All right, welcome to the Snowflake Sports Podcast. I am your host, Dan. It is 6:43 p.m. on November 6th, and I am joined by my good friend Fritz, a.k.a. Kesha. How you doing, Kesha?
Pretty good, Fresh Dan. How are you?
Yeah, so fresh, so clean. So for this week, and I apologize to all our listeners, I left my laptop home in Rochester, and we actually had a podcast recorded that through my girlfriend's laptop, but she has a MacBook, and like the Skype recorder didn't really work. But now I got it, and we should be good to go. But this week,
I'm trying to remember all of the stuff that we talked about last week. So
I think it's mostly Packers.
It was a little bit,
stuff.
yeah, it was a little bit of that.
And then just
thank
NBA.
God.
Yeah, right.
I'm glad I don't have to like renege on a lot of the stuff I said.
Yeah,
I do. To be fair, going into that game, everybody in the media was like, clean sweep. Everybody's going to win that game. I did not feel great going into that game. Everything about that, I don't necessarily believe in trap games, but like every single thing about that screamed trap game. Like,
yeah. So I listened to Coward today because I normally do it like after, like on Google Music and stuff, and he was kind of digging in on how, like, because the Packers are pretty young, and just like going to LA, it's a party city, so like, and they went in on like Friday. There
have been some rumors about that. I don't know how much I would necessarily believe that, but I do think that they were getting a little arrogant. And I think this loss is definitely going to, it's humbling. It's going to, put them in the right direction.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, let's get into bigger news. So we're going to talk about Trent Williams, cancer stuff, past Ravens game, go Ravens. And then what coach we want to see fired, and then we're going to jump into the NBA, talk about Jackie Mack's Kyrie story, the Lakers Mavs game, and are the Celtics good? And we're also going to start a new thing that Fritz came up with, and it's a fantastic idea, and it's a hot take of the week. So we're going to, at the end of the podcast, just kind of do some scorching hot takes, just try to something that's unconventional, that's not really being said by other media or mainstream media. But yeah, let's get into it. So Trent Williams, he had a holdout with the Washington Deadskins for a while now, and no one really kind of knew what was going on. And then he had an interview on Halloween on how their medical staff failed to address his battle with cancer, and like, so they had a bump on his scalp and first appeared and repeated the diagnosis annually for 5 years. And I was getting most of this from The Athletic, but he had his, I wouldn't say like chemo or like a procedure in Chicago, and he said that no one from the team like visited him or anything. And then the Deadskins came back saying that like he flew on Snyder's private jet to Chicago. I don't know. Have you? I guess what's your opinion on this whole story? Or
man, this is just sad. This is really sad. Mm-hmm. Like, first off, Snyder needs to go for sure.
Absolutely.
Like, dude, you don't even know how to do anything right. But I feel so bad for anybody who is a Redskins fan, anybody who, like, Trent Williams, number one. But like, Trent Williams throughout his career has always been in the conversation for one of the best left tackles in the league, which is one of the most important positions in the league. And I mean, up until all of this shit happened, like, he was a team player, would do anything for his team, and like, this is just a testament to like how horribly like bad franchises are run. Like, they just don't know what they're doing. And yeah. I don't get how a franchise that bad can also treat their players that bad. Like, don't you want people to come sign with you? Isn't this going to be a PR nightmare for them?
Yeah, but I don't know. Dan Snyder has just kind of showed repeatedly that he doesn't really care how good this team is. He's just gonna,
that's true.
Like, make the money, and it's just because people are always gonna go to NFL games, especially in a big city like DC. You're gonna, have that money influx.
Yeah, City of Champions right now.
Yeah, right. With the Mystics won, the
the Caps and the Nats.
And yeah, they're the new Boston, I guess.
Yeah. Boston is Boston's on another level. Everybody wants to talk about New York City being like the city of champions. It's Boston. Let's be real. Like
New York City. What was the last time they won anything?
Like, the Yankees.
2012.
Look at the Yankees have dominated.
Well, yeah, but that's like
league
from the 20s
forever. Exactly. Yeah. Like everybody wants to talk about New York and like LA because LA has the Lakers, but like Boston has the Red Sox, the Bruins, and then more importantly the Patriots and the Celtics. And they're having like you're talking about dynasty wise, the Boston's got everybody beat so hard.
Well, recently too, it's just like all those teams are always good.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like all those teams always make the playoffs.
It's not fair.
So yeah, not fair. Yeah, going back to just Dan Snyder, I think he has to be the worst owner in all sports, and this is including James Dolan.
Yeah, I would push back with James Dolan, because here's the thing: if you're gonna talk about Dan Snyder being the worst, but you're also gonna say that Dan Snyder doesn't give a fuck if his football team is good, then I wouldn't necessarily call him the worst, because it seems like James Dolan is actually trying. Does that make sense?
Kind of, but like, I don't know.
Like, so if you're talking about like who's a worse owner for the team, that's a toss up, because one of them is like lack of care, the other one's just gross incompetence. But if you're talking about who's a worse owner in general, just being an owner, it's got to be Dolan.
Yeah, I guess like job wise. You're right. Like,
because he's actually trying, and Christ,
yeah,
he's doing it such a bad job.
Yeah, I think I'm just thinking more of like an ethically kind of side. You know how like Donald Sterling was just garbage and like should have sold his team, and he did. And like I'm thinking more Snyder in like that realm.
Yeah,
it was like, how can you do this? Like, this is he went to 7 straight Pro Bowls. Like, I think he's like a 2-time All-Pro or something.
Dude, he's got cancer on his fucking face.
Yeah.
Like,
it's egregious. It's fucking terrible. I don't know. I just want the whole DC area to like boycott their games and just like, you know,
that'd be nice.
Have an empty stadium, but it's not gonna happen. Like, it's
the NFL. Nice.
Everyone loves football.
I don't know. DC's pretty good at showing people that they don't like hate.
Yeah. Oh, true. Yeah, that Nats game.
Yeah. Oh god, that felt so good.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. You don't watch baseball, right? You think it's pretty boring?
I watch baseball when the Cleveland Indians are in the playoffs. That's about it.
Yeah.
Like,
no, my dad's like a huge fan, and like when I went back that one weekend, we watched one of the World Series games, and they do the little like baby sharks thing, and that was the first time I saw that, and I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Or, that's pretty dope. And then I remembered like how boring baseball is.
Oh yeah.
But just the little stupid stuff that they do in baseball, that's pretty fun.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I went to a Pirates game a couple months ago, and they had a pierogi race.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. Also, speaking of the Pirates, gotta give love to the city of Pittsburgh for being the only city in, sports really to have at least 3 teams that all keep the same color scheme.
So I was thinking, I think the Atlanta kind of does that too, though, because the Braves are kind of red and black.
Okay, I can see
Falcons, and then I guess the Hawks aren't really
Hawks
red
are
and black.
A little bit, yeah.
But like Atlanta United's kind of red and black too.
Yeah.
So, and they don't have a hockey team.
I can see it a little bit.
But yeah, those are the only 2 cities, and like Pittsburgh is known for being black and yellow.
Oh yeah, it's so. I mean, give it up to Wiz Khalifa.
Yeah. Exactly.
But also on the topic of like horrible ownership and like, in relation to players with their injuries, who did that happen with Kalechi Asomli, where he had a torn labrum in his shoulder?
Oh,
and they told him just to play through the pain, and then when he finally came out to the public about it, they cut him.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah.
Wait, who is he again? Because I think I'm thinking of the Celtics, like weird.
No. He's an offensive lineman. I think
okay.
For the Jets, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, jeez. Well, that team's a shitstorm right now, and
exactly
kind of has been since.
I don't know what to think of them. Like, obviously, they're not good at all, but they did beat the Cowboys.
They have talent too. I don't get this team. Like, Jalen Adams is a good safety.
Yeah.
They have Le'Veon Bell. Like,
Le'Veon Bell has to be so sad right now.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, at least he's getting paid. But just like mad.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was crying on the sidelines after.
Was he really? Oh, I didn't see that.
Well, it was like it was that game where Simeon got his ankle destroyed, and then they were up their quarterback.
Oh, that Browns game. Yeah.
And then they were just getting absolutely shit on. And I think somebody caught it like a short clip of Le'Veon like crying, and everybody was like, "Oh yeah, bet you wish you hadn't tried to get your way out of." Also, did you hear that the Steelers tried to trade for him?
Trade for him?
Yeah, they tried to get him back.
No. That's so weird.
Yeah.
Why? Well, I mean, I understand why, because he's great and breaks tackles like a motherfucker. But like, what?
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy because James Conner's he's doing great.
Yeah.
I mean, he's injured, but still doing.
They're sneaky. They're 4-4 now. Didn't they win this weekend too?
They did. So yeah. Well, they squeezed out a victory because Adam Vinatieri missed a field goal.
Yeah.
That was on the punter though. He didn't get those laces out.
Yeah. Laces out. What was that Ace Ventura? You gotta laces out
every time.
All right, let's move on though. The Patriots Ravens game was amazing. Like, I loved every second of it. Watching.
Yes. I was telling people going into that weekend that I am so much more excited to watch that game than I was to watch my Green Bay Packers because oh my god. What's the Steelers are the best team that the Patriots got to play in the first 8 weeks?
Nah, the Bills, man.
The Bills. Okay, you're right. The Bills. Yeah. I'm sorry. The Bills played. The Bills are the only team above 500 that the Patriots have played, and they barely beat them.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying the Bills are bad. The Bills are a legit playoff team right now.
You could argue. I mean, legit bad playoff team.
Yes. Yeah. But they'll probably squeeze something in. They're definitely in the wild card chase. But oh my god, like. The teams that they played were so bad that going up into that game after 8 weeks of football, their defense had more touchdowns scored than touchdowns scored on them. Yeah. That is an unbelievable stat. And we said that last week, but I got to say it again because nobody heard last week.
Exactly.
But
no, it's absurd.
Out of the top 5, like in all of the stats that they track in league leaders, 3 of the top 5 were Patriots.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But, I mean, even watching all of those games, you're like, is the defense really as good as everybody thinks they are? Because if you look at the offense isn't that great. Tom Brady's missing a lot of passes. He's getting sacked a lot.
They're dealing with injuries on the line, too.
A little bit on the line. And then, their tight end got injured, but it's just, it's nothing different really than what we've seen from the Patriots with their slants and shallow crossers and screens and short little dump off passes that Tom Brady does and the wide open running backs that he can pass to. Nothing there has really changed, but their offense just has no creativity to it whatsoever. And everybody's talking about them as this juggernaut team and how they're undefeated and how their defense is historically great. And I'm like, who the fuck have they played? They got to play the Jets twice. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Offensively, what's the best offense they've seen? Because it can't be the Bills because they're just too bad.
What the Browns maybe?
I guess but. I mean, they haven't looked that great either.
That
just shows how you have.
I was telling everybody the only impressive win that they had, to me, was against the Steelers, because they beat the Bills, but they barely won that game, and then they've just dumped on a bunch of other quarterbacks that are under the age of 24, or 24 or younger. It's like Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Dwayne Haskins, or Case Keenum. But that's Case Keenum. Folk, whatever his first name is, I don't know, nor do I care.
Luke. Right?
Luke Folk, yeah. What's the kid's name from Miami?
Josh Rosen.
Josh Rosen.
Was it Rosen or Fitz?
No.
Oh, it was Rosen.
He got to play Rosen. He got to absolutely dump on Rosen.
Yeah.
Like, I was so excited to see if they were legit, and I was right. They're not.
Yeah.
Like, they're still a good team, but they're nowhere near the best team in the NFL.
Yeah, no, I agree.
They have the best coach that has ever lived, and he's obviously always going to keep you in the game, and they have a bunch of people that are just disciplined and know what they're doing. But when it comes to being dynamic, completely all well-rounded, and just dominating on both sides of the football field, I can think of a handful of teams the Patriots would not go up against consistently and win.
Right, but I still think their defense is, like, if it's not the best, it's probably second best. Like,
I agree. I agree completely.
And I just think it was more on how unique the Ravens offense is now with this, like, because this is the first time I actually sat down to watch a Ravens game this year, and I completely forgot the whole, like, option thing, and, like, I've never seen, like, a camera person, like, miss who has the ball more than I did that game.
Oh, no.
They're so good, typically.
That is exactly how you know somebody hit a good play. When the camera guy can't figure out where the ball is, that's how you know that there's a good game. Because that's his job.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just, like, I still think the Patriots are going to the Super Bowl. Like, they should still be the favorites. Just because you can't, like, they're going to have that tape. And
you think
Belichick is going to go through that tape so much.
There's two teams that I think have a pretty good chance of uprooting them, and that's obviously the Ravens, and then also I think the Chiefs once they get Mahomes back. Because not even just Patrick Mahomes, but just having Tyreek Hill on the field is a nightmare for any other defense.
And Travis Kelce.
Yeah. Speaking of which, you saw Tyreek fucking catch up to Damian Williams, right? Like,
yeah, that was great. That was awesome.
What the?
He's so fast.
It's like it looks like the other guy was in slow motion.
Yeah. And this is like an NFL running back that probably runs like a 4.3.
Yeah. It's absolutely
incredible.
Did he what was his combine time? Like, how did he not shatter the record?
I don't even know.
How is it that John Ross did it? Like, I don't understand. I want to see. I want to see him run it again because
yeah,
love to see.
So it might not be like a 4. I feel like it's almost like a Odell kind of speed, where it's like, yeah, he's like, well, I mean, Tyreek is obviously the fastest wide receiver in the NFL, but like, it's like how consistently he can be that fast, though.
Yeah, there's definitely like an on-field kind of speed that you just don't see from other players. Yeah. I feel bad for Odell, man.
Yeah, just having Freddie Kitchens as your coach and just can't run an offense. Baker Mayfield is just looking terrible right now.
Man,
what was it? They had a 4th and 9, I heard, and they ran a draw play. Like, this wasn't last week. This was like
no, that was against the Rams.
Yeah. It's like, what the fuck? Like, my god.
How about like 2 weeks ago when they had it was like a 4th and 5 and they were gonna punt, and then they had, or no, it was like a 4th and 10 or something, and it was fourth and something, like, manageable, and then they were gonna punt, and then they got like an offsides call on them.
Oh yeah.
And then he decided to go for it.
Yeah.
Well,
he took a 5-yard penalty to go for it after. Yeah.
Like, dude, only do that if you're punting.
Yeah.
That's the only situation where you want to get backed up. But speaking of like transitions,
do you want to go? So, we're hitting the halfway season now in the NFL, and it's about that time to talk about which coaches should be fired. So, Fritz, which coach do you want to see fired next?
Dude, get Freddie K out so fast. Like, we knew that this wasn't going to work from day one. There's not a single person who saw the Browns hire Freddie Kitchens and were like, yeah, we got Freddie! Like, every single person was either, who is that, or worse. Like, he has no clue what he's doing. He's trying to be a player's coach and, like, everybody's friend, and nobody is respecting him, and there's no discipline on the team. That's why you see Baker, like, I don't really look too much into, like, the whole thing about him shaving twice.
Yeah.
Like
that's kind of funny.
Yeah, it was funny. Who cares? Like, he's not trying to, like, make a narrative or anything. He's trying to have some fun, but, like, at the same time, you think he's thinking about, like, what he should shave into his mustache during the game? No, he's thinking about playing football. You guys just want to create a narrative because, you know, he's this outspoken quarterback that everybody wants to hate on. And as much as I detest Colin Cowherd and a lot of his opinions and a lot of his snide fucking attitudes, he did say something that really kind of caught my attention, and it is that Baker Mayfield basically has been maxed out every single time he's been on a team. Like, every single coach he's been given has gotten the absolute best out of them. And that is why having Freddie Kitchens as a coach, not a good idea, because he's had some really good coaches over the years, and they've always been, like, perfect for him. Yeah. So, Browns.
Well, that Oklahoma coach is, like, the top prospect for any NFL job, right?
Yup.
Or, like,
Lincoln Riley?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he's the next one up.
Get him to Cleveland. Like,
yeah.
Offer him what the Raiders gave Gruden. Like,
I don't know about that.
Yeah,
you don't want that long of a contract.
Dude,
a lot of money.
Dude, he's about to produce his third Heisman quarterback in a row.
I don't really watch college football too much.
I don't really watch college football.
I thought the Luke Burrows. I thought the LSU guy was, like, running away with it.
Yeah, I spoke a little too soon there. It's him. Obviously, you know, Tua's in it, and then Jalen Hurts though has been. I mean,
it's true.
Recently he hasn't been doing that great, but like I don't know.
He's like Gardner Minshew, like, probably coming fifth.
Yeah,
I guess. Well, he'll probably come in third, I imagine.
Yeah, but I mean, still, like, the dude is just pumping out NFL talent. But at the same time, I don't know. Kyler Murray looks like he'll have a career in the NFL.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't see him turning out to be like Russell Wilson or anything, unless they get him like a really good offensive line. I could be wrong. I can definitely see it going both ways.
Russell Wilson's like Hall of Fame kind of type career. I could see him doing like a Derek Carr, like a Dak Prescott kind of, where you're like top 12, top 13 or something.
He's more dynamic though. Like, it's just, honestly, it is just the size that really kind of gets me, because there's sometimes, every single time you see anybody get near him, he just immediately gets down. I mean, if he has any room to scramble, he's going to, but like, he also knows that he's really small. And he's
but that's good.
Yeah. It's good. Like, I mean, that's how Brady stays injured. Like, when he knows he's going to get sacked, he doesn't try and make a play. He doesn't try and extend anything. He just throws the ball away or, you know, tucks it and hides.
Yeah. Yeah, very true. All right, going to my coach I want to see fired. I want Dan Quinn to be fired because that Falcons offense is way too good. I think they're over the salary cap for this year, and they're 1-7 to show for it. And he took over the play calling for the Falcons defense, and he was supposed to be a defensive coach. That was going to be one of his strengths, and they are still awful on that side of the football, and everyone is still healthy. And I just can't. I don't understand how they have Calvin Ridley, like Julio Jones, like Mohamed Sanu until they traded him to the Patriots.
Yo, Austin Hooper's also been balling out this year.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's just like, oh
I picked him up on fantasy, and I already have George Kittle. And I
nice.
don't know who to play every week because, like, George Kittle's been battling injuries, but also Hooper's been balling out, even though he's on this dog shit offense. Well,
the offense actually has been good. It's the defense that's the problem. Like, they cannot stop anyone.
That's wild. Dan Quinn was the guy that set up the Legion of Boom. What happened?
Yeah, right. Yeah. And they were supposed to win like 9 games this season, according to Vegas, and they've only won 1, so they're pretty much on their way to 2. And I feel like this team has to have the most like disappointing season this year. Like, the Dolphins are bad, but they intended to be bad. Like, this team could have possibly competed for a Super Bowl.
They were in the Super Bowl 2 years ago, and their team isn't that much different.
Wait, hold up. Your mic is kind of iffy.
How's that? Testing. Let me know.
Testing? It's kind of low right now. Do you wanna?
Is that better?
Yeah, it's better.
Perfect.
But yeah, I guess they probably wouldn't have competed for a Super Bowl, but I thought they were like a playoff team-esque or just like a...
Everybody thought they were.
Yeah.
Everybody was putting them right there. I mean, that division is a gauntlet.
Normally, but now I think it's more like the NFC West or your NFC North is more like a tougher division.
I mean, the NFC in general.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if the worst one still has the Eagles and the Cowboys.
Yeah. And a lot of people thought the Eagles could have, went to the Super Bowl this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're just a weird team.
A lot of people still think that they can.
Yeah. Weirdly, though.
I have no idea. I have no idea who's coming out. Because, obviously, if you're going to want to pick, a number 1 in the NFL, you're going to say it's the 49ers. I'm gaining more and more confidence in them by the day. I still have my, feelings. I can't wait for the game next week where they actually, play the Seahawks.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be very competitive.
That's like the first good Monday Night Football game in 2 years.
Yeah, you know what? I haven't noticed that until you just said that right now. What has been going on?
So, I listen to a lot of Bill Simmons, and he's kind of like an ESPN hater. And he always makes jokes on how Goodell is just kind of banning ESPN or just being like, hey, you know how you were talking shit about our league and stuff, so we're going to give you the worst game possible on Monday night.
That's actually hilarious.
Yeah. I feel like it's accurate. It has to be. Okay, let's give them Dolphins Steelers. This is just terrible. So, but yeah. And also, I don't know about you, but when Monday night kind of rolls around, unless it's a really good game, I'm kind of sick of football, at least. Because you have Thursday, I'm hyped because it's the first game. And it's Sunday, maybe I'm just not as diehard fan as you. And then when Monday rolls around, it's all right, let me watch basketball or do something.
It depends.
Else.
Honestly, it depends on the game for me.
Yeah.
And you know what? See, now I wish I I looked up I just looked up the next 3 Monday night games, trying to hope that it would correlate with what we've been saying. And the next 3 games are the Chargers and the Chiefs.
Okay.
And then the Ravens and the Rams. And yeah.
Okay, never mind.
And then the Vikings and the Seahawks.
So, jeez. Okay. So
yes, we might have been a little wrong on that, but
yeah.
I mean,
I also think Chargers Chiefs when you started the season would have been an awesome game.
Exactly.
Yo, dude, could still be. So
that's why I did not get why they were bad this year. And they've had a lot of close games too.
Yeah.
I think they just needed to get their shit together, but they have too much talent on that team to be bad. Anthony Lynn's a good coach. There's
I love him.
Good reason why they should be bad. The Browns, you can point at all of the dysfunction and Freddie Kitchens, and if you want to put the blame on Baker Mayfield, you can do that too. I wouldn't put so much blame on him, but
I think it's Kitchens. You're not using Nick Chubb to the fullest extent too. There was something where he keeps putting in his second string running back when he should put Nick Chubb in, who's clearly better. That's absurd.
Do you watch Gridiron Heights?
No, I do not.
You really should. You would love it.
Yeah, nice. I started watching Last Chance U for a bit, and that was awesome.
That's a great one, yeah.
And then I just kind of got sidetracked and stopped watching it. But yeah, I'll have to give that a go. All right, let's transition into the NBA now. And so Jackie Mack, who I love and adore, she had a great story on kind of Kyrie and just like the Brooklyn Nets in general. And it was really like a good deep dive. Like they talked about their stuff in China and how like Kenny Atkinson runs like a certain culture in Brooklyn that's more of like college based than like in the NBA. So it's really hard to get like superstars that have won titles like Kevin Durant or Kyrie to kind of change their rituals and stuff. And it seemed like, at least the media, they took like the one paragraph in it that said that they might have issues with Kyrie, and then just blew that apart.
Exactly.
And I just want to tell all these haters of Kyrie to go fuck themselves. And because I love Kyrie, I love everything about Kyrie. He was like the one and done when I was a freshman. Like we share the same birth month, so we're like our astrology is the same.
You guys
so
are basically the same person.
Yeah, we are. We're pretty much best friends. So, so yeah, I just want to defend him. Like, leave Kyrie alone. He's gonna and the Nets were doing really bad to start. Now they're kind of like okay. I feel like they're 500 or so. But I guess since you're a Cavs fan, and I assume a pretty big Kyrie fan as well, I guess what do you think about this whole media outburst?
Man, my relationship with Kyrie Irving is so confusing. I don't know how to feel about him. I feel differently about Kyrie every single year. I don't get it. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. He's so good. He's so fun to watch. He's the best handler of the basketball and finisher I've ever seen, and probably the best that's ever played the game. Like, I'm a diehard LeBron fan, and if I'm going to watch anybody in this league's highlight reel, it's going to be Kyrie Irving, because you just watch what he does, and it doesn't make sense. Like, you're like, how is somebody physically able to do that? So it's not even just like one freak shot. It's just like every single time he just contorts his body over and over again, finds his way to the rim, and makes these clutch shots. Like, he's such an awesome basketball player to watch, and I loved him when he was on the Cavs.
See, I felt like he was so this might be different because like Anthony Davis is now playing with him, but I thought he was like the best superstar match. Yeah, because it's like, hey, Kyrie, like go score.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's like okay, yeah.
Like, so perfect matchup. You have like the best player in the league who's a pass first kind of guy, and then you have a ball dominant point guard and Kyrie. Like now here's where I hit my crossroads with Kyrie. I don't get why he left in the first place. I get he wanted to be the guy, but it's Kyrie's personality that just like he's like a.
Oh, dude, I love his personality. I know everyone hates it, but I think it's great.
It's like, too much for me, man.
Give me more. Like, did you see that thing with Brad Stevens last year where, like, Kyrie, like, it was like 6 a.m, they show up at the team facility, and Brad Stevens like, hey, good morning, how's it going? And then Kyrie was like, what does government mean to you? Or, like, what is the function of government?
Yeah.
And, like, I love that. Come on, let's be weird.
I know, weird. But, God,
the only thing
he's like what you would take with, like, if you mixed, like, a method actor and a festival girl and then made them really good at basketball. Like,
it's Kyrie Irving.
That's Kyrie Irving.
Yeah. I mean, he has these mood swings. Which
and that's what kills me, because he's so good. He's so great. And he just, I think he's, like, thinking way too much, and it's ruining him.
I guess, like, but he's super smart.
He is super smart.
The way he talks and just...
But
concepts.
Yeah. I mean, the flat Earth thing didn't really make me feel great.
No, but I feel like he's open to different, like, theories. And he came back on it, and he was just like, oh, yeah, I was dumb.
He did,
like, I went down a rabbit hole, like,
exactly,
started watching videos.
Like, and there is, like, a lot of, like, really, like, in-depth, crazy fucking theories about, flat Earth. They go into some wild detail. My friend, you remember Will and Lexi?
No.
Anyway,
My bad.
no, it's fine. My friend Will explained it to me one time, and it's absolutely wild. So I can see how something like that would catch his attention, but like, he left a perfect situation to go. I mean, like, not even just like, you know what? When I'm a free agent, I'm gonna go sign somewhere and try. Like, he needed to get out, in his opinion.
So I think it was mostly because he knew LeBron was leaving. I think that had to be it. Because it was a year before. Like, he didn't want to be stuck in Cleveland, like, without LeBron and what the Cavs are now.
And that's a good argument. But he's a free agent. He can make his own choice.
I don't think... oh, no, he was, because he signed...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that was...
So, yeah, exactly. I don't know what he was doing, and then he gets injured, and then... You know, he didn't even end up where he wanted to be, and then the Celtics just didn't need him. Like, the Celtics right now are like what the Patriots have been.
Too talented.
Tired. Well, no. Well, Brad Stevens won Coach of the Year because he created the system with all of these like B+ guys. You can say what you want about them now, but at the time, Jason Tatum was a freshman. Jalen, what's his last name?
Tatum?
Jalen.
Oh, Brown.
Jalen Brown was in his second year. I mean, you had Al Horford, who's like the IBM of the NBA. And then just like all of these other role players, like Marcus Smart and Terry Rozier, but it was a system that worked. I mean, you didn't even have Gordon Hayward. And then you bring back all of these stars that are just like me, and it doesn't work anymore. So,
but like making the Eastern Conference Finals that year is like not that much of a feat. Like they went through 7 games with like John Wall and Bradley Beal, and look how bad that Wizards team is now. Like,
that's fair.
So
yeah, but they also beat the Bucks.
Yeah, but like before the Bucks are the Bucks.
Giannis was still good.
Yeah, but it was like him.
I knew
they didn't have Budenholzer either, so they didn't have this 5-out offense that has like completely revamped their team.
They were still a force. I don't know why it took everybody so long to hop on the Giannis train. Yeah, I saw him like 2 years ago, and I was like, who the hell is that?
Yeah, he's another highlight reel where it's just like you see one of his dunks, and it's just like, oh my.
It's like,
God.
oh, cool. Yeah, you ever see that video of that dude that takes runs from like, you know, the other side of the court and just takes off from the 3-point line and does a layup, and the question is like, is this a 3?
No, I have not. But
no, because it is technically, and I'm just thinking like, nobody show this to Giannis because he can do that easily.
He probably could.
I mean, he could get well within like 3 feet of the basket.
Yeah.
He's so freaking like, I mean, what he takes like 1 step from the halfway and he's already there, or like 2. It's absolutely insane.
Well, I feel like from the 3 he could take like 2 or 3 steps.
Like,
he could probably pick the ball up from.
It was it was 1 dribble from half point, and he's already there.
Yeah.
Still, that's ridiculous.
Speaking about Giannis though, so do you think he travels when he does the like kind of like gather step and then the 2-step thing? Or
if we're not going to call James Harden for traveling, nobody's going to call Giannis for traveling.
Yeah.
I think we're past that.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know, it looks weird when Giannis does it, because at least with Harden travels, he travels away from the basket, but when Giannis kind of travels, he travels towards it.
Yeah.
So I think that's the weird thing about Harden. It's just like, why are you going that way? But anyways, so the Lakers and Mavs played last Friday, I believe.
That was a great game.
It was awesome. It was so good.
My friend, one of my coworkers, Alyssa, got to go to that.
Ooh,
yeah. I'm so freaking jealous of her.
Yeah. Wait, that was Dallas, right?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Well, it was in Cleveland, I think.
Or not Cleveland? You mean LA?
Yeah. No, wait. Oh shit.
Lakers Mavs.
I just got confused. Never mind.
Yeah.
She went to the Dallas Cleveland game.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, never mind.
Okay.
Never mind.
Not as good.
We're past that.
Saw Luka. She saw Luka. So.
She did see Luka, yeah. But
that was cool.
Regardless, that was an amazing game.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, I know people have said this all the time, but like the Davis LeBron pick and roll is unstoppable.
Unstoppable.
Like, I don't know how you stop that.
What do you do? What do you do?
I don't know.
Like, because
you can't sag off because they both shoot.
Well, there's that too, and then if like you cover anybody else, you try and double them. You got the best passer in the league. LeBron has 160-point vision. If you stop guarding one person, he's gonna throw in the ball. He's gonna know.
Yeah. 100? You mean 360?
360.
Point vision?
Isn't that what I said?
No, you said 160.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely not that.
Yeah. Well, what was that? That ridiculous pass to Danny Green a couple games ago? It was like behind his head. It was like,
yeah. Well, and there was also the one in Dallas. Also, I don't get well, I think this is just with if the game is coming down to the wire and you have a player like LeBron, you have AD on the field, if you're a defender, your brain's got to be going haywire. Just be like, I got to stop him, I got to stop him, I got to stop him. So when LeBron drives to the basket, you forget we're up by 3. What am I going to do here?
Yeah, he's got to.
They were up by 3. Why? They should have just let him score. But
yeah,
LeBron kicks it. Danny Green hits a clutch 3. Skip Bayless gets to talk about how somebody else bailed him out. But
who passed him the ball?
Exactly.
Fucking Bayless.
LeBron James is a perfect basketball. Well, I'm not gonna say perfect, but like he's always going to make the right play.
He's very smart.
Mm-hmm.
Like he knows what he's doing. And that was a tough 3 by Danny Green. Like I thought, like he wasn't open.
No, he's clutch.
Yeah, for sure. He's clutch in the regular season. Like when the playoffs rolls around, we'll see.
He was. I mean, you're talking about a guy who's won championships with 2 separate franchises.
Right,
everybody's
but like,
talking
with
about
Kawhi.
With Kawhi, but and then also with the Spurs. But
yeah,
that's fair.
I mean, like so if you go last season, Danny Green was like absurd from 3 during the regular season. It was like 45%. And then like playoffs, he would have games where he'd go like 6 for 8 or like 7 of 10 or something from 3, and then games where he'd have 0 points. So
that's wild.
And then when like Fred VanVleet was kind of like getting, because like he did nothing, like VanVleet did nothing for the first 2 rounds, but then he kind of came alive in the Bucks series, and that's when Danny Green.
You starting to see what I tell you about Quinn Cook being like this year's Fred VanVleet?
Yeah, no, definitely.
He's looking real good.
Leaguer. Yeah.
G League.
He's got a lot
of nowhere, short little guy shooting threes.
Yeah, he's got a lot of potential, at least like minutes wise, to
He had some clutch moments in the finals last year too.
Yeah, very true. But also, so speaking about the pick and roll though for these teams, it's kind of fun to watch, like because both Davis and James is awesome, but like the Doncic Porzingis pick and roll is also crazy. Because like it's pretty similar too. You got like a small forward with like a center or a power forward if you're Davis. It's just I feel like Davis is such a bigger threat down low versus like Porzingis is better at the 3. Not saying that Davis can't shoot. Like obviously he can.
Well, of course, yeah. I mean Davis is just wider. He's got a wider frame. He's stronger. KP is just kind of like skin and bones, but then also KP can shoot near. Like he's like when it comes to shape and shooting, he's like a poor man's KD. That makes sense.
Oh, Porzingis, yeah, for sure. Well, they keep calling him like a unicorn. And that's pretty much what Kevin Durant is. Like a 7 foot, like plays pretty good defense, and then can shoot threes.
I don't get why more bigs don't try and shoot as a young age.
I think they're more relevant now.
Like, because you got a much bigger view and a lot less people that can guard you. You'd think you would want to learn how to shoot a 3.
I guess, but I feel like just back in the like the 80s or the 90s, you're just like, oh, you're bigger, just like go down low and do like a hook shot. Like they're just like let the shorter people shoot the
That makes
threes.
sense.
Great game. Luka, I think, is gonna be in the MVP conversation.
Oh, yeah.
If not this year, like at least next year. He's definitely like
He's so good.
yeah.
He's
I don't know how to
so
compare him.
He's just ready ready for the NBA. He's so young, but he's so good. Like that step back that he has is absolutely nasty.
Yeah, it's incredible. He's just his vision too. He's
only going to get better too. That's the scary thing.
Yeah.
I also loved that last year when they picked up KP, I kept telling people like, what are the Mavs just trying to like make a team of like white European stars because they still had Dirk.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But
that's all they want. What, Maxi Kleber? I think he's from Germany too, right? There's another one.
Lauri Markkanen.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of like good white dudes are pretty much just from Europe now. Like Jokic.
That is where they're made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on. So the Celtics look pretty darn good, in my opinion. They came back and they beat the Bucks. I think that was that was like Wednesday or so. And then before that, they came back and beat my Raptors. So it looks like they're the clear team to be like third in the East. But Kesha, do you think they're good? Do you think they're that good?
I mean, this goes back to I just thought about something else that I definitely want to talk about for a second. But this goes back to what I was talking about with Kyrie. Like, Brad Stevens is a great coach. I thought Kemba would be a much better fit, more of like a system guy. He's not as good as Kyrie, but he's also not as ball dominant as Kyrie and more of a willing passer. Like, I think Brad Stevens is one of the best coaches in the league, and he is going to flourish with like less, big name guys. Just guys that are just going to do their job. That's how they. Yeah, I'm not surprised that they got better. And I don't want to put the blame on Kyrie either, because, he is such a talented player. But like, I feel like when you just give somebody the ball over and over again, you can't develop such a dynamic system. That's one of the biggest criticisms in basketball. Is like once it gets down to the end game, you just give it to your best player instead of playing the game you've been playing the whole time.
Yeah,
which
that's
is
very true.
So stupid. Like, keep it going. Everything was working out fine.
It's more like you just don't trust the other players. And I think that's kind of why the Warriors were so good. It was just like, if you're open, shoot. I mean, plus they're just unbelievably talented.
Oh my god, dude. It feels so good watching them burn.
But for the Celtics, though, for the very short amount of games that they've played, like, Jason Tatum's progress in his third year is really good. Like,
it's nice to see that he's getting better.
Yeah. And he's not taking as long twos, like he's just taking more threes, and he's like able to hit those. Like Gordon Hayward, like looks, I wouldn't say back to what he was at Utah, but like clearly a step up from last year. And then like you said, like Kemba Walker is just like kind of less ball dominant point guard.
No,
and I think he also he like almost tries a little harder.
Yeah.
Like, he just has a lot of like heart and all that jazz.
For sure, yeah.
I think that just kind of inspires the youngins to kind of do this. The only one problem they have is they don't really have like a center. Like they have to play a lot of Aaron Baines and that like Osumble. I can't say his last name.
Is Aaron Baines still on?
Or not Aaron Baines. God, who is that? Because Aaron Baines is on the Suns?
Yeah.
They have like, I forget who their like white center is now. But they're playing. God damn it.
Well, I know who their center should be.
Yeah, but they basically just don't have a center because Al Horford left. So that's really their only super...
Wait, what'd you say?
Or weakness. Since Al Horford left to go to the Sixers, they just pretty much don't have a center.
Yeah, well, I know who their center should be.
Who?
Taco
Fall!
Dude, he's so good.
Wasn't I saw something on Twitter, though, where his like PER is the highest.
His
by,
what?
like, his like PER or player usage rate or something. It can't be right. There's some stat where he was like number one by like 40% over like LeBron and like someone else. Awesome.
Just by using the ball. That might include it if you're talking about like preseason and the summer league.
Yeah, I know because I haven't seen him play at all.
All that people were doing was just like, hey Taco, here we're gonna toss it up to you. Go put it in. Have this dunk where your feet don't leave the ground.
Yeah, they should play him more.
Dude,
I mean, is he even on this team? Is he on the G League team or?
No, he's on the team.
Oh wow.
He concussed himself.
Oh.
He hit his head on a low ceiling.
Oh, of course he did.
Yeah.
Wait, did he really do that?
Yeah. No, that's wow. that's something that actually happened. I'm kind of surprised you didn't hear about that. It was really funny.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I was under a rock that week.
Yeah. So, quick question. Why are the Suns good?
Oh my God! Yeah, I'm glad you brought this up.
What the hell is going on there?
I don't know. So I think it has to do with Ricky Rubio being on this team. Because back in Kentucky, when like everyone loved Devin Booker, like he was like a shooting guard, and just like for years he had to do everything for Phoenix and had to like play from the point. And now you actually have like a point guard, and now he could play off screens and like dash around and have just open looks for three and just get to the hoop whenever he wants to. I think that really helps, but I don't know. Like they beat the Sixers. They're the first team that beat them.
Also, have you been following the Suns Twitter page?
No, I probably should.
Dude, they're going at it, man. Like they are talking so much shit. Like they're like, yeah, like Sixers, you like us now, or like no undefeated teams left in the league. We did our job, or like anybody actually paying attention to us yet, or like the Suns Twitter page. Go follow them. They're
nice.
Just
it's like the Wendy's one.
Yeah. Like they're just talking so much shit. It's freaking awesome. Like
nice. That's awesome. That's great.
Also, speaking of the Suns, what up with the 25 game suspensions for?
Right. I was just about to bring that up too. Like we got John Collins last week.
What up? Like, okay, first off, who was the center for the Suns? What's his name again?
DeAndre
Ayton.
Yeah.
His argument was he didn't even know that what he was taking had illegal substances or something along the lines of
No, it was a masking agent. So it's like a thing to mask steroids, which is illegal because like if you're only taking it to like mask the PEDs.
Yeah. Also, does DeAndre look like he needs steroids?
No, but like maybe he.
That's fair. But at the same time, you look at like, first off, two examples. One, you look at the NFL. They give you like a 2 or 4 game suspension. That's not a lot. I mean, it's usually a 2 game suspension, right? Is the first
16 weeks though, right? A 4 game suspension is a quarter of the season.
Fair enough. But it's. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's 2 games is your initial one, right?
Oh, I thought it was 4, but you might be right. It might be 2.
Because I'm pretty sure, because Aaron Jones got caught for it for 2, but then I think Julian Edelman got hit for it with 4. I'm not really sure how it works. It's a thing by thing, but like, 25 game. It's the NBA. Like how? I don't know. It's.
Yeah, I think though, because. I forgot what I was listening to, but they brought up like a Derrick Rose quote, and he was asked a question like way back when he was like on Chicago, just like, hey, what's your opinion on like how many players are taking PEDs, like on like a scale of like 1 is nothing and 10 is like everyone's taking it. He said it was like a 7, which is crazy to me because I feel like you never get this, but maybe like the NBA is just starting to test more frequently, or just they're able to catch more.
That's possible.
Because like right when you're running like so much in an NBA game, you're gonna burn so much calories unless you do like a Michael Phelps diet.
Yeah.
So like these guys can't be that large.
Yeah.
Unless you're like LeBron, who's just naturally that gifted.
Also, I don't know how I feel about like PEDs. Like
just like they should be able to maybe take them.
I don't want to. I mean, I don't want to see like a bunch of like Greek gods out there playing sports, but like one, like a certain percentage of players are taking them and getting away with it, and then at the same time, like you don't want to see a bunch of like jacked up muscleheads playing football. I understand to like the players that are doing it like all healthy is one thing, but like what if you have a person whose body like biologically cannot put on that mask, but they do have the skill set to do it? Like I don't know. It's kind of
it's a gray area.
It is a gray area, but I don't think it's as big of a deal as everybody's like really making it out to be. It's PEDs. There's way worse things.
Like what? Like cocaine or something?
Didn't somebody get suspended for using Adderall?
Really? I did not see that.
I think it was a while ago. I think it was like Welker. Like way back in the day, he got suspended for something like that. But anyway, I mean, like you got guys that are beating their wives who are getting 2-game suspensions. Ray Rice.
Oh yeah, that stuff.
Or like Embiid and fucking Cat got 2 games, and Embiid tried to gouge Cat's eye out. Like 2 games.
Ben Simmons put him in a chokehold.
Thumb in his eye. Yeah. You're gonna give him 2 games? That's insane.
Yeah. I kind of liked it though.
I kind of did too. Yeah. It definitely was.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the same, you do have to send a message to like show that stuff in the league isn't okay to happen, because it's going to happen, but you got to have punishments for it so it happens less. Because if you just have people fighting every single game, it's going to happen more and more, and then you get something like the Mouse in the Palace, and then.
Oh yeah. Very true. I think though, like, because even that fight, right, like compared to what it used to be, was nothing. They threw a couple like jabs and, but nothing really connected.
Yeah, I think it was I think Cat tried to throw a punch, he just missed.
Yeah, I think Embiid did too, and also missed.
Well, Embiid was throwing like a couple jabs, like he was doing like inside punches on the way down.
Oh, okay.
And then obviously, Ben Simmons coming in there with the chokehold.
Yeah,
honestly,
with his right hand, by the way.
Yeah,
which is his correct shooting hand.
Yes.
But
also, can I just say, like, that was so funny for me. It was honestly a little cringy for me to watch as like a wrestler, to just watch how these professional athletes just had no clue what they were doing.
Oh yeah. Oh, I bet. Yeah.
It's like, oh no, that's not what you're supposed to do. Oh, that's bad.
Well, they're basketball players. They probably
I know,
wrestled.
Exactly. It's just it's funny seeing somebody like who plays a professional sport trying to do another one and just being so clumsy and just like they don't know what they're doing, and it's really it was just funny for me to watch.
Yeah. Or I'm not saying it's like the same sport. It's just like, in high school you do wrestling and basketball at the same season.
Yeah, that's true.
So they probably never did it all. Anyways, so going into this new hot take of the week, you want to start us off, or you want me to go with mine?
Yeah, I'll go with mine, because you said yours is like more of a career one.
Career one, yeah. So
sure,
you go.
Do we also do we want to address the ones that we did last time, since people missed him?
Sure, yeah. I'll go first with last week's.
Sure.
So last week, basically, I said that Lamar Jackson would throw more yards than Tom Brady last week, and that did not come true, because he ran all over them, which made sense. I think Brady had like 200 yards, Jackson had like 120 or something. And then, you want to state yours, Fritz?
Yeah, you landed in the ballpark.
Yeah, it was close.
I think the whole premise of it was that Lamar Jackson was going to shit on Tom Brady, and Lamar Jackson shat on Tom Brady.
Yeah, hell yeah, he did.
And then mine was when both of the careers are all said and done, regardless of like accomplishments. I think if you just look at individual like statistics and scoring and like percentages and whatever, I think most people are going to perceive Trae Young as a better player than Steph Curry. I'm not saying Trae Young is going to have a better career than Steph Curry, because Steph Curry played on the one of the greatest teams and dynasties in basketball history, won 3 rings, he went to 5 championships. Trae Young is in Atlanta, but I think as individual players in a vacuum, I think when their careers are done, I think if you were looking at both of them, going back into the past and you could draft one of the two of them, I think more people are going to want to have drafted Trae Young.
Yes, I kind of disagree.
Yeah,
that is a hot take. That is a
you see Trae Young crossing Lamarcus Aldridge,
I
making
saw
him look
that.
like a
He
freaking
crossed him like 4
fool.
times.
Yeah,
in the same
you're just
play.
playing with him like a freaking yo-yo.
Yeah, that was yesterday, right?
Yeah,
I think yeah.
that was dope.
All right, this week, what's your hot take?
I think Luka's going to be the MVP
This year. Ooh, I like.
because I honestly don't really think that's that hot of a take because they never give it to the best player in the league at the time. Well,
Not regular season. So you're gonna say it because like LeBron never gets MVP, but LeBron never.
There's that, but even the year that they gave it to the year that they gave it to Harden, they gave it to Harden instead of LeBron, when LeBron statistically had his best career of all time. And then last year, Harden had a better season than Giannis, but they gave it to Giannis because Giannis had a way better story. And I actually thought it was hilarious last year because they gave it to Giannis almost for the same reason that they gave it to Harden over LeBron, because it was more of like a Hillary Clinton, it's your turn kind of thing. Like,
you've been here long enough.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, we got to give it to him now. And, like, I can definitely see LeBron winning it because, like, just the whole comeback. They're going to say comeback story because he had a stupid injury that happened last year. But, like, I'm so done with haters. But he's looking like the MVP right now. But I feel the NBA loves to just like come up with these stories of like who they're picking as their MVP, like Russ. You gave it to Russ because he averaged a triple double, but then you get to the playoffs and then like or the year that they gave it to Derrick Rose over LeBron, and LeBron made Derrick Rose look like his child. Like,
I don't know. That Derrick Rose season was
Derrick
amazing.
Rose did.
They were so good. They were the
Derrick
first
Rose
seed.
had an incredible season. Would you have called Derrick Rose the best player in the NBA at that time?
Well, no. There's a difference though. It's like there's the best player in the world, and then there's the best player during that season. And when you like compare the stats,
this is a great time for me to plug this. Hold on. I think that the NFL and the NBA need to have two separate awards for this because I am tired of these arguments. Like, you need to have...
Okay, but like LeBron James, right? He saves everything for the playoffs. Like the past like 5 years, like he'll like pretty much shut down from like January to May or whenever they end. So you can't give it to him because he's not like playing his all or doing his all.
That's fair.
I don't know, but keep going because it's probably a good.
No. I will actually maybe 3. I think that they need to change Finals MVP to Playoff MVP, or just split those into 2 separate awards because there's no MVP, there's no playoff awards. You know, like there's no like who is the best in the playoffs. It was just who's the best in the finals.
Yeah, true.
And I don't know. There's so much more into that just like totally gets overlooked and unacknowledged. But right now, I think the MVP or there needs to be MVP, like who is most valuable to their team, obviously, and then who had like most outstanding season or something for a player, like who had like a season that just like soared above everybody else's. You're gonna have a player. Like everybody's gonna want to vote for the player that like without him their team would fall apart. That's the MVP. And then somebody who had a year like James Harden or Giannis or like all the MVPs, because I feel like every single year they give the MVP to not the most valuable player on the team, but whoever is having like this storied season that everybody's talking about. You know? Yeah,
I think it's just like the way you vote or the way the voter or the writers vote is just like you look at the stats and you're just like, hey, like James Harden is averaging 36 a game, like Giannis is averaging like 27 and 13, like
but they didn't give it to Harden.
But I think the fact that Giannis was like 27 Like 27 points, 13 rebounds. That's like Shaq numbers.
Yeah,
that's absurd.
Yeah.
So
Harden was putting up Jordan numbers.
Yeah, I guess that. I thought just last year was one of the toughest ones like ever.
Yeah, that's fair.
So,
but
like,
the year before,
I felt like it should have been closer. But
the year that Harden won, LeBron was putting up his best statistical season in like a regular year, and they gave it to Harden because Harden had been second place like 3 years in a row.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
So I think if they put those two apart, that would solve so many issues. I mean, because then you can just, I mean, people talk about that with Jordan. It's like you could have given it to Jordan every single year, but some years they just gave it to other people because there were better stories. Like, this doesn't just go back into the recent past. This goes way back. There's always a player who is the best in the league or the most valuable in the league whose team would just fall apart without them. And then there's, you know, somebody who's having this year that everybody is just talking about, and that's who they give the MVP to because it makes the best story. And that's what the voters are doing. They're all NBA analysts and writers who are just trying to make a great story out of something.
Yeah, but I still think even with Giannis, if Giannis wasn't on the Bucks, like that team's not good, like at all. Like they're bringing down with like Eric Bledsoe is bringing the ball down.
Hold on,
with, like,
wait. So you're telling me that you think the Bucks would be worse without Giannis than the Rockets would be without Harden?
Oh, no.
Exactly.
But I just think that's like the Bucks were a 1 seed and the Rockets were what, a 4 seed?
In the West.
True, but I mean, the Raptors won, so clearly the East was better.
Okay, all right, Dan. All right, now let me get to the NFL. I think the NFL needs to do the same thing. They need to have your most valuable player, which is going to be who's the best quarterback in the league, and then who is the best player in the league, which is what everybody wants the MVP to be. Everybody wants, like, because football is such a positional sport, like, it's so hard for any other position that isn't a quarterback to win the MVP. And I'm so tired of like having the arguments of MVP and be like, yo, wow, you have this player who is so much better than anybody else. Like, look at Aaron Donald last year. Aaron Donald was about to break Michael Strahan's record as a D tackle coming from the inside. That is absurd. Nobody even mentioned his name in an MVP race because he's not a quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, the counter to that, though, is Patrick Mahomes put up an unbelievable season, too.
That's also true.
Like, he broke records for, like, touchdowns thrown, I think.
Yeah.
Or was at least close enough.
Yeah, now look at but 2 years ago,
No, I agree that it's
3 years ago, they gave it to Matt Ryan.
Dude, Matt Ryan was great that year.
Matt Ryan was great that year.
Yeah. But I agree with you. They do just give it to quarterbacks whenever.
Like the NFL Top 100. Do something like that. Give it to best player in the league, and then you can also have MVP. I know that's kind of gonna snub the MVP because, like, everybody wants to be the MVP, but, like, it's gonna be your quarterback. It's gonna be the quarterback. Like, out of how many years we've had the MVP, how many have not been quarterbacks? It's been not a lot. You got to be like fucking Lawrence Taylor to get that award.
Yeah.
Like, oh, one of the greatest people to ever play the game. That's all I got to do. Like,
yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Give it to if you were to take every single player in the NFL and rate them on a scale of 1 to 100 at how good that player plays their position. Like, let's say Trent Williams is like a better left tackle than Nick Chubb is at running back. Whoever has the absolute highest grade at their position, that's the best player. Like, whoever is so much better at their position than everybody else.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because,
I kind of like it, but it just, like, if Trent Williams won the MVP or, like, a lineman won, that would just be very weird.
Well, yeah, but then call it something like positional perfection or something.
I guess, but aren't there awards that are, like, best offensive lineman or, like, best... I mean, there's best defensive player
And best offensive player. They give that to his skill position. Well, by the way, fuck the fact that Matt Ryan won Offensive Player of the Year and MVP.
Yeah,
if you win MVP, give Offensive Player of the Year to somebody else.
Yeah.
But
that's absurd.
Also, I think that the MVP award kind of looks like it has a curse right now.
A little bit. Definitely.
Well, look at the last 4 years. Cam Newton.
Matt
Ryan. Tom Brady. Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, yeah. Except Tom Brady the next year won the Super Bowl. So I wouldn't say
but you have lost the Super Bowl, lost the Super Bowl, lost the Super Bowl, lost the AFC Championship.
Yeah. When their MVP season. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. Anyways, that was a little divergent from the Luka MVP. But I don't know. So I just think rewarding players is a good idea. So if you could give more awards, I just think that's a better idea. Awesome. But yeah, so my hot take of the week is kind of similar to yours with the Trae Young better than Steph Curry.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe that Brandon Ingram will have a better career than Ben Simmons. And I've kind of thought this before that 2016 draft. I never understood the hype of Ben Simmons. He was on a trash LSU team. And just watching Brandon Ingram at Duke, it just reminded me of Kevin Durant. Just this 6'10" forward that can pretty dribble. He couldn't shoot as well. And Brandon Ingram's looking pretty good on the Pelicans now. Ben Simmons, everyone was hyping that he took that 1-3 in summer league or whatever.
Has he made a 3 yet?
I don't think so. I don't think he's made a shot outside of the paint this year. They had a shot chart, whereas most of it was right around the rim, and then he was 0 of 7.
Yeah, I just googled has Ben, and the first thing that came up is has Ben Simmons made a 3.
Yeah. He hasn't, I don't think. I don't even think he's shot a 3. I don't think he's shot outside of 15 feet, which is absurd.
In the regular season, he's 0 for 17, and he made 1 in the preseason.
Wait, so he's shot 17?
In his career. No, in his
career. Oh, his career. Oh, yeah, okay. Solid.
And he made 1 of 3 at LSU.
Ooh, okay.
Wow, so he's made 2 threes since college at all.
Yeah.
That's not good. That's a wild take, dude. I feel like mine was just oh yeah, I could see that, and then yours, I'm thinking about that hard right now. That's kind of
I think also the Lakers just are terrible at player development, especially for a younger player. I mean, look at D'Angelo Russell.
Oh yeah.
So I think Williams. He can soar for the Pelicans. And I think once they get Zion back, it'll help him. It'll help Lonzo.
Dude, the laundry list of players on that just did not develop until they left the Lakers.
Right.
It's so long.
Yeah. Julius Randle,
yeah, dude. There's so many good players. Also, by the way, I love Josh Hart so much.
Yeah, dude, he's great. He did something funny.
He was holding the ball to the end of the game to just run the clock out, and he handed the ball off to a rookie, so the rookie had to take the turnover.
Oh yeah. Josh Hart. I mean, I don't know how you feel too, because you're just a LeBron fan.
Hold on.
But LeBron and the Lakers, does that give you anxiety, or just
What do you mean?
Just because I just hate the Lakers. I've always hated Kobe, and just that, just LA fandom in general. Just not. I don't.
I'm very torn on it, to be honest.
Okay.
I don't like the Lakers in general. I've never really cared too much. You're right. You're totally right with the whole Kobe thing. Kobe was an incredible player, but I saw this thing that was LeBron's the first player to have 3 back-to-back triple doubles since Magic Johnson in the 80s, and then somebody commented on it and they were like, Kobe played his entire 20-year career with the Lakers. That's come on.
Yeah.
He was a great scorer. I want to know how. I want to go back and look at MJ's statistics about how good he was besides just scoring, because I saw that stat today that was it Kawhi's never had like a double-digit assist game?
No, but I think he's getting up there now. Like, he's really learning how to be a passer.
That's still shocking.
Not really. I mean, like, I watched a lot of Kawhi last year since he was a Raptor, and
he?
That's like his weakness. Like, he's great on defense. He could create a shot. Like, he's got so much strength that he could just push anyone off. But like his vision isn't that great.
Yeah.
And it was like a lot of sets were just like, okay, like the rest of the team's going to be involved, and then it was like Kawhi it's like his turn.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, like Wade, LeBron, like first year where they didn't really understand how to play with each other.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. But yeah, so back to the whole Lakers thing.
Oh yeah.
If I in a vacuum, I like personnel wise, I love the team. Jesus Christ, I love Alex Caruso so much. He's so fucking awesome.
I think it's just the fact that he's like bald.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
The fact that he's
like
bald,
an old
he's
man.
small, and he can throw down dunks.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
so yeah, I really like the players on the team. I just watching LeBron, AD, Dwight, and McGee all on the same, like, at just that skyscraper lineup is just cool to watch, you know?
Yeah.
Like, just seeing that many guys that with that physical structure all playing together, it's cool to me. But yeah, no, I started watching basketball when I was 2003, the year that LeBron got drafted. It was just it was total coincidence. It was the first year that I started playing sports. But my dad is also from Cleveland, so he was like, hey, our team's getting this really, really good young player. So when I was really young, I was like, oh, cool, this is the guy. So
that makes more sense now.
Yeah,
I didn't know your dad was from Cleveland.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's also like Indians, but like I don't really give a fuck about baseball. But yeah. So like I was watching the Cavs way back when they had Shaq on the team, and when he was dragging these dog shit teams into the playoffs, and
yeah,
not to mention the fact that I lost Brett Favre and LeBron in the same year.
Oh,
yeah, that was rough.
It's a bad 2010.
Yeah. But I've never understood. I get the whole hate on him because of the decision. That was like the big player movement thing, but since then, like, people are just hating on him to hate. We are in this age where we're watching one of the greatest, if not the greatest player to ever live, play basketball, and people are just finding every single reason in the world to just put him down, and he's just like, he's a good dude. He does so much for his community. I know there was a whole controversy with the China, but like, if you want to talk about like good and bad things that he's done, the list is so unbelievably lopsided. And
yeah,
I just like, in his career, he started off in the biggest dumpster fire city of sports in America, stayed there, dragged this horrible team to the finals, did absolutely nothing, finally decided to go play with his best friend on a team that actually had some talent, and then came up to play against the original super team, and then played against the Spurs dynasty. And I mean, obviously, he had his meltdown against the Mavericks, which is like the most remarkable championship team, one of the most remarkable championship teams in sports history. Like, nobody thought the Mavs were going to win, let alone all of the ridiculously talented teams that they beat, like the Lakers and the Spurs, and then didn't they also beat the No, never mind. But
that would be like the fourth team. That would be every team then.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But and then
so just
goes, but then he
countering,
goes to England, and then he plays the greatest team that's ever been assembled, debatably. It's either them or the Bulls. And if I'm picking which team is going to be better, I'm picking the one with 5 All-Stars. I don't give a fuck. You want to talk about Jordan being a clutch player who couldn't beat anybody in their prime, put him up against that juggernaut line.
I mean, he beat Olajuwon in his prime.
Yeah, a lot of people also don't talk about all...
John Stockton? Karl Malone? Like, you kidding? Those guys are amazing. John Stockton has the most assists of all time.
That's fair.
Okay, so just saying or countering or to be on the side of LeBron hater. My hatred for LeBron is purely from a basketball standpoint. It's nothing from he's an amazing person, and the thing he did for the Akron school is incredible, and he's a great father, and just the things he does is awesome. But I just especially when he was on the Heat and he had Mario Chalmers, or even now at the Lakers where they don't have a point guard. I hate point LeBron, where he just dribbles the ball, he surveys the court for 10 seconds, and then he either drives and kicks or he drives and scores. And I just think it's just bad basketball, and because he's freakishly athletic and one of the best passers, if not the best passer to ever live, I think it just worked, and it just was frustrating.
Oh, it's an unstoppable combo, because you have a guy who can just physically impose himself, and that's going to draw a double team, and then he's also the best passer. So
right, but it's just it's just not team basketball. It's just you're only getting the other person that you're passing to.
I mean, in a vacuum, you could say that, but that's definitely not all that he does. It's not only driving to the rim and passing. He does a lot more with passing than he does with that. And look at what he's doing right now with the pick and roll.
But that's when, I guess that's more when he has talent on his team.
Also, not to mention LeBron James, to anybody who wants to say that he is not a clutch player, about all of the, greatest, people to play the game in the NBA. Here's a list of a potential go-ahead field goal in the playoffs in the final 24 seconds of the game. LeBron has the highest percentage at 42.9%.
I don't think anyone.
Kobe Bryant's at 26. Kevin Durant is at 30.8. Ginobili is at 33.3. Paul Pierce is at 33.3. Chauncey Billups is at 33.3. Duncan's at 22. Harden's at 11. And Steph Curry's 0 for 9.
Yeah, but Steph Curry's still I guess he's 30. I don't think anyone thinks LeBron isn't clutch anymore. That was a narrative that was done 10 years ago.
People have been saying that up until last year, and I'm tired of it.
Well, all those people are stupid.
Yeah.
Should go bury that take in a grave. All right, I think that wraps it up, though. I think we hit
I think we hit a bunch of it.
All right. Well, it was a pleasure having you on. Always great talking to you. And thank you for listening. Please subscribe, and other stuff that people say. But yeah, thank you for listening. Peace.